Alright, this is Mathematics Paper 1, 2023 GCE. Specifically, I'm going to answer question what? Question 18, which is coming from variation. Yes. So the question is saying Z varies inversely as the square of x and directly as y, and z is equal to 6 when x is equal to -3 and y is equal to 27. Find the, so the first question is saying value of k, which is the constant of variation. Then as for b, the value of z when y is equal to -6 and x is equal to -2. Then the last one, values of x when y is equal to 8 and z is equal to 1. So let's try to answer these questions. So the first thing, you need to interpret this statement. So I'm going to say z, okay, so z values, which is the alpha, inversely as what? The square of x. Now, as for inversely, I'm going to say x to the power negative what? 2. So z values inversely as the square of x. Remember, let's say for example in paper 2, if you're finding the inverse, if they write like this, if they say a to the power -1, which means they are looking for the what? For the inverse. Now here they are saying square. Square is more like, if they give you the matrix which is a, you need to give it as a to the power -2. That's the reason why I'm putting it like this. Okay. And directly as y. So as for directly as y, I'm going to say y like this. Okay. So now on this part here, what you need to understand is that this symbol here is called what? The alpha. The alpha. This symbol is what? The alpha. This alpha contains two things. It contains an equal sign and also the k, which is the constant of variation. So in this case here, in the place of the alpha, I'm going to put the equal sign and also the what? The constant k, the constant of what? Variation. So I'm going to say z is equal to k x to the power -2, 1. Now, as a mathematician, you have learned about indices. You have learned about what? Indices. For you to change this number here, or this variable, which is x to the power -2, if you want to change this one here into a positive index, you are going to say 1 over x to the power 2, which means you have eliminated what? You have eliminated now the what? The negative from this number here. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to say z is equal to k. Remember, this y here, it is directly to z. So I'm going to say y, or I'm going to say multiplied by 1 over x to the power 2 multiplied by what? Y. Okay. So this one is just an explanation. So when you go in an exam, just go direct to an answer. Okay. So I'm going to say z is equal to, so now on this part here, I'm going to multiply k multiplied by 1 multiplied by y. I'm going to get what? K y over x to the power 2. Okay. So now let's try to find now the values. So the first question was saying we need to find what? The value of k, the constant of variation, when z is equal to 3 and x is equal to -3 and y is equal to 27. So in this case here, I'm going to say my value for y here is what? Is 27. So let me try to use this part here. Okay. As for a, so as for z, it is what? 6 is equal to k, the constant of variation we don't have. Then as for y is what? 27. So I'm going to say open bracket 27 over the value of x is what? -3. So ensure that you put -3 inside the what? The brackets. So -3 to the power 2. Okay, so from there now, let me try to deal with the brackets. So I'm going to say 6 is equal to 27 multiplied by k. I'm going to get what? 27k over, on this part E, these two e's with is on negative and also on what? On 3. So in this case, it's more like we are multiplying negative 3 multiplied by what? Negative 3. Then here we are going to get what? Positive what? 9. Okay, so here I'm saying this 2e is on a negative and also on 3. So I'm going to say negative 3 multiplied by negative 3. I'm going to get what? Positive 9. So I'm going to say positive what? 9. Then from there now, I'm going to say don't even balance it by saying divided by 1. No. Just say 9 into 9, I'm going to get what? 1. The 9 into 27, I'm going to get what? 3. So in this case here, I'm going to say 6 is equal to 3k. Okay. 6 is equal to what? 3k. Then here I'm looking for the value of k, which means I'm going to divide by what? By 3. Even here, by 3. So these 3 and this one here, they are going to cancel each other. Then I'm going to say k is equal to 3 into 6, I'm going to get what? 2. So here the value of k is what? 2. The value of k is what? 2. Then let's also try to answer question B. Okay, so as for question B saying we need to find the value of what? Of z when y is equal to negative 6 and x is equal to negative 2. So in this case here, I'm going to do like this, okay? I'm going to do like this. So I'm going to say z is equal to k y over what? X to the power 2. Now in this case here, on question B, do we have the value of k here? We don't have. So which means we are going to use the same value of k that we have found on question what? A. So in this case here, our new formula is going to look like this, okay? So I'm going to say z is equal to, where there is k, I'm going to put what? 2. Then y over what? X to the power 2. So in this case here, we are going to use this one now to calculate what? The value of z. So I'm going to say z is equal to k, which is what? 2. Then the value of y, in this case, is what? Negative 6. So I'm going to say, open bracket, negative what? 6 close. Over the value of x is what? Negative 2. So even on this part here, you need to introduce the what? The open bracket and the what? The close bracket. So in this case here, I'm going to say z is equal to, so I'm going to say 2, open bracket, negative 6 and then close. So in this part, on this part here, it's more like you're multiplying negative 2 multiplied by what? Negative 2. You're going to get what? A positive number, which is what? Positive 4. So I'm going to say divided by 4. Then from there now, I'm going to say 2 into 2, I'm going to get what? 1. Then 2 into 4, I'm going to get what? 2. Okay, so on this part here, I'm going to say z is equal to 1 multiplied by negative 6, I'm going to get what? Negative 6 over 2. Okay, so I'm going to say z is going to be, so z is equal to 2 into negative what? 6. Then my answer is going to be negative 3, like that. So our final answer for z is going to be what? Negative 3. Okay, so let's try to solve the last one. So the last one was saying find the values of x when y is equal to 8 and z is equal to what? 1. So on this part here, when they say values, which means you need to have what? 2 values of what? Of x. Okay, so I'm going to say z, which is question C, z is equal to k, which is what? 2. Then y over x to the power what? 2. So in this case here, the value of z is what? 1. Then the value of y is what? 8. So I'm going to say the value of z is what? 1 is equal to 2. Then the value of y is what? 8 over x to the power 2. Then from there now, I'm going to balance this one by what? By 1. Then cross multiply. So 1 multiplied by x to the power 2, I'm going to get what? X to the power 2 is equal to 2 multiplied by 8, I'm going to get what? 16. Then from there now, I'm looking for the value of x, so which means I'm going to introduce the what? The square root to both sides. So from there now, I'm going to find that, remember this one what? 69? Yes. So here I'm going to find that the square root and power 2, they are going to cancel each other. So here I'm going to remain with what? X. Now, the square root of a number can be positive or negative. So in this case here I'm going to say plus or minus. What is the square root of 16? The square root of 16 is what? 4. Okay. So in this case here, you can say x is equal to positive 4 or x is equal to negative what? 4. Which means on this part here, we are done. Okay. So that was the last one. Thanks for watching.